Welcome. Today we're exploring a lesson that really gets to the heart of so much of our daily struggle. It's lesson 268. Let all things be exactly as they are.
That phrase alone, it can bring up so much, can it? Both the sense of, relief maybe, but also, for many, a huge challenge.
Definitely a challenge. It asks us to step away from something that feels almost automatic.
That constant human habit, I think of it as, of wanting to rearrange everything, to make reality fit what we think it should be.
It's like we walk around with this invisible red pen.
Oh, I like that image.
Yeah, constantly hovering over life, ready to make corrections,
hmm
judging the weather, critiquing a decision someone made, even editing our own past thoughts.
The cosmic critic grading God's homework. It sounds absurd when you say it like that, but we do it all the time.
We really do. And we think if we just manage it all, critique it enough, we can force it into a shape that feels safe or right to us.
It's this belief that improvement is always needed, even on things that are maybe already whole.
Which brings us straight to the lesson's opening. It's quite direct.
It is. Let me not be your critic, Lord, today, and judge against you.
It really acknowledges how natural it feels for us to slip into that role. Judging, evaluating.
The tone someone used, the way traffic flowed, our own body's aches and pains.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job, isn't it? This constant mental assessment.
A thankless one, too. And when the lesson uses terms like Lord or talks about your creation, we need to remember the context here.
Yes, it's pointing towards that underlying reality of love, of wholeness. It's not about bowing to some external punishing figure.
It's about asking ourselves, can we stop judging against that fundamental unity? Can we suspend the belief that our little preferences, often driven by fear,
Are somehow better or more important than the whole picture.
right? It's an invitation, really. Just for today, maybe take a day off from that exhausting job of mentally rewriting
A
everything.
day off sounds good.
Let's take a moment then and actually read the lesson text itself. I'll read the first paragraph. Lesson 268. Let all things be exactly as they are. Let me not be your critic, Lord, today and judge against you. Let me not attempt to interfere with your creation and distort it into sickly forms. Let me be willing to withdraw my wishes from its unity, and thus to let it be as you created it. For thus will I be able to recognize myself as you created me. In love was I created, and in love will I remain forever. What can frighten me when I let all things be exactly as they are?
Let not our sight be blasphemous today, nor let our ears attend to lying tongues. Only reality is free of pain. Only reality is free of loss. Only reality is wholly safe, and it is only this we seek today.
That phrase, distort it into sickly forms, that really lands for me.
It shows what our criticism actually does. It takes something whole, something perhaps neutral, and our fear twists it.
Makes it seem threatening or wrong just because it doesn't fit our personal script.
And that leads us right into thinking about the cost of this cosmic critic role we play. It's not free.
Not at all. The moment we start trying to rearrange the universe, that's when fear seems to flood in, doesn't it?
It's almost like fear is the shadow of control. If you're trying to control, you're implicitly afraid of what will happen if you don't.
Yeah, it feels like the direct result of fighting what's already here. Arguing with reality takes a huge amount of energy.
That's the core argument, I think. The fear isn't inherent in the situation. It's generated by our demand that the world conform to our wishes.
Which means we have to be constantly vigilant, always monitoring, always judging, always ready to correct.
We worry because we're demanding control over things we fundamentally can't control. It's an impossible task.
So much effort spent on, well, on absurdity, really. The suffering isn't the event itself.
No, it's the clash. The gap between the neutral what is and our intensely desired what should be. The pain lives right there, in that resistance.
The lesson points this out. Only reality is free of pain. Reality, meaning that underlying wholeness, not our fearful interpretation.
When we manage to step back, even for a second, we can sometimes see that neutrality. The situation just is. It's our judgment, our projection, our resistance that creates the suffering.
And accepting that neutrality, gosh, it feels deeply restful, even though it bumps up against that ingrained impulse to fix, to manage, to control.
Intellectually, it sounds lovely, doesn't it? Just let it be.
Absolutely. Very serene. But then Monday morning hits.
Right. Applying, let all things be exactly as they are when the bills are due or the kids are acting out or the project deadline is looming. That's where the friction happens.
That's the real practice ground.
It really is. Intellectually, we might want to trust, to surrender, But there's that persistent part of the mind.
The worry wart.
The worry word, exactly.
Mhm.
That part that whispers, okay, trust is fine, but couldn't the universe just, run the plan by me first, just for approval?
I know that voice well. Mine is constantly drafting contingency plans, monitoring potential threats. It feels like its job is to anticipate disaster.
What areas do you find that worry wart is most stubborn about when you try to apply this?
For me, oh, definitely things involving my kids. Their safety, their happiness, their future. My mind instantly goes into fix-it mode. And maybe external validation stuff too, like at work. Feeling judged.
That makes sense. For me, historically, the big one has been financial stability.
Ah, yes. That's a huge one for many people.
Paying bills, tracking every cent, this deep-seated need to feel insulated from any possibility of lack or loss. It's it's been a persistent area where letting go feels incredibly risky.
It feels risky because we framed that worry as responsible, haven't we?
Yes, we call it prudence. We think if I stop worrying about money, I'm being irresponsible. I'll miss something crucial and disaster will strike.
So relaxing the critique feels like courting failure.
We equate vigilance with safety. The lesson flips that. It suggests the worry, the constant critique, actually blinds us. It obscures clarity.
And this urge to control and critique, it doesn't just stay internal, it spills into our relationships.
Oh, definitely. Which brings up that really interesting idea of how empathy can sometimes become, well, an ego trap.
How does that work? We think of empathy as purely good.
It starts from a good place, genuine concern, but the ego can hijack it. Suddenly, we're not just caring about someone, we're deeply invested in fixing their life, managing their choices.
Their drama becomes our project.
Exactly. Empathy turns into this runaway train. We feel we have to intervene, or if we can't, we have to suffer right alongside them, maybe even more than them, to prove how much we care.
And the ego gets a payoff there, doesn't it?
It does. It gets to play the hero. Look how much I care. I'm so upset for you.
Yeah.
But it also gets to be the victim. Their bad choices are causing me so much pain.
It feeds on that intensity. It confuses the intensity of the emotion with the depth of the love.
Whereas real love, in the way the Course talks about it, is often much calmer, steady, non-demanding. The moment we're trying to manage someone else's life.
That's the interference the lesson warns against. That's us trying to rewrite their reality according to our script.
And the most respectful stance, maybe the most truly loving one, is to say, I care about you deeply, and I trust you.
I trust you to navigate your own path, even if I wouldn't choose it myself.
That trust frees both people. It frees us from the exhausting role of being their critic. And it offers them genuine support, not conditional approval based on whether they do what we want.
So letting go of critique isn't apathy. It's a deeper form of respect and trust.
I think so.
Mm.
And that connects to using our own inner state as a guide.
How do you mean? Like using peace as a compass?
Exactly. I've learned, slowly, to pay attention to that feeling of peace if a thought, a decision, even a conversation starts pulling me away from peace.
That's a signal.
It's a huge signal.
Yeah.
It tells me the ego's probably grabbed the wheel again. I've likely slipped back into judging, resisting, critiquing what is.
I find my body is often the first to know. Before my conscious mind even registers the judgment, I'll feel it physically.
Oh, absolutely. The body keeps score, doesn't it?
That tension in the shoulders, the jaw clenching.
Shallow breathing. Maybe a knot in the stomach.
Those aren't just random physical things. They're messages. They're saying, hey, you're fighting reality right now.
They are teaching moments.
Yeah.
Signs that the ego's active and we're trying to force things.
I notice that jaw clench instantly when I get too invested in, say, how my kids are doing something. The second I want to control the outcome, boom, there it is.
For me, with the financial worry, it's more like a tightening in the chest and this mental speed up. Everything feels frantic.
Running scenarios.
Constantly. Projecting, calculating, trying to anticipate every possibility. It's exhausting. The lesson's idea, let all things be exactly as they are, acts like a brake. Just noticing the tension, repeating the phrase. It can slow that frantic energy down.
Just the act of noticing creates a bit of space.
It does. Now, something important comes up here. When we talk about not being God's critic or letting things be, some people hear echoes of, well, problematic religious ideas.
Right. The whole don't question authority, just obey narrative, that has a really dark history for a lot of people.
It's been used to demand blind obedience, to shut down thinking, sometimes in very harmful ways like in cults or controlling institutions.
So it's crucial to clarify that this lesson, and the Course in general, isn't advocating for that kind of unquestioning submission.
Not at all. It's not asking us to stop thinking. It's asking us to notice the quality of our thinking specifically, to notice when our thoughts are based in fear, judgment, and the need to control.
It's more like an invitation to run an experiment on our own mind.
Exactly. It's incredibly patient. It's like it says, go ahead, try anxiety again, see how that feels, try resistance. Okay, now try letting go. Just for a bit. Compare the results.
Which perspective actually makes your life feel easier, lighter, more connected?
There's no punishment for choosing anxiety 50 times in a row. It
Oh,
just keeps gently offering the alternative,
yeah.
peace. It honors where we are. It doesn't shame us for not being there yet.
That's a radical patience. So if we do manage this, even for moments, if we
Yeah.
actually succeed in not critiquing, not judging, what does that feel like? What's the state we're aiming for?
I often think of Dr. Jill Bolt Taylor's experience during her stroke.
The neuroanatomist who wrote My Stroke of Insight.
Yes.
Yeah.
She described how, when her left hemisphere, the part responsible for linear time, judgment, the constant chatter of the inner critic went offline.
It was left.
This profound sense of spaciousness, quiet awareness, connection to everything, just being present without the running commentary.
That sounds blissful, honestly. Just quiet inside.
It's the liberation of consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Freeing up all that mental energy that normally gets chewed up by the ego's endless cycle of critique, worry, and judgment.
So not critiquing isn't about losing agency or becoming passive. It's about expanding awareness.
Getting access to a quieter, clearer part of the mind that's usually drowned out by the ego's noise. You don't lose your ability to act, you gain clarity about how to act.
Which brings us to a really critical distinction we have to make, especially for anyone passionate about social justice or making change in the world.
This is vital. When the lesson says, let all things be exactly as they are, it can easily be misinterpreted.
Misinterpreted as meaning we should just accept injustice, tolerate harm, become passive doormats.
Right, spiritual bypassing. But we need to remember the Course's own distinction between two levels.
God's creation versus the ego's world.
Exactly. God's creation is defined as reality, love, wholeness, safety, unity. The ego's world is the one we perceive through fear, division, attack, scarcity, conflict.
So let all things be exactly as they are applies to that fundamental underlying reality with a capital R, the truth of our being.
It does not apply to the ego's projections, the systems of oppression, the violence, the suffering we see in the world of form. The lesson isn't saying, let injustice be exactly as it is and do nothing.
What is it saying then in relation to those things?
It's saying, first, withdraw your ego's judgment. Stop reacting with fear, blame, and outrage, because that clouds your vision. See the situation clearly, from a place grounded in that deeper reality.
So it's about the starting point for action.
Yes. It's about the difference between reaction and response. The ego reacts. It sees a problem, and its immediate tools are blame, anger, opposition, division.
And it feels righteous doing it. That anger feels like proof that we care, that we're taking it seriously.
But that reactive energy often just feeds the cycle. It escalates conflict, creates more us versus them, leads to burnout and more toxicity. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline because the explosion feels powerful.
So the ego throws rocks at the hornet's nest.
Metaphorically, yes. Whereas the Holy Spirit, that calm, clear, connected part of our mind, it responds. It sees the injustice, the suffering, but it responds from a place of steady love and clarity.
And from that clarity, different actions become possible.
Actions aimed at genuine connection, understanding, and addressing root causes, rather than just attacking symptoms or opponents. Think about figures who created profound change.
Like Nelson Mandela, or maybe someone like Dorothy Day.
Exactly. They saw injustice with searing clarity. But their actions weren't primarily fueled by personal rage or the need for vengeance. They operated from a deeper, more grounded place.
Which allowed them to build bridges, to foster reconciliation, to create lasting change in a way that pure reactive anger often can't.
That's the difference. The Holy Spirit calmly and lovingly finds a way to relocate the hornet's nest, understanding the whole system, rather than just swatting at the hornets in a panic.
So letting things be, in this context, means letting reality be our foundation, so we can respond effectively to the world's problems, not just react out of fear and anger.
It equips us for more effective action, not less. And this applies on the small scale, too. Learning to respond calmly to traffic or a frustrating email.
Builds the muscle we need for the bigger things.
Precisely. Which leads us to how you, the listener, might practice this. Just for today. Think of it as a low-stakes experiment.
A day off from being the cosmic critic, the universal editor.
So here are a few steps you could try. First, just pause throughout the day and notice what's happening inside. especially when you feel that familiar tension.
Jaw clenching, shoulders tight, that knot in the stomach.
Yeah. Recognize those signals. Acknowledge, okay, the ego's driving right now. I'm resisting something. That's step one. Just notice.
Step 2.
Gently repeat the idea internally. Let all things be exactly as they are. Don't force it. Don't expect magic. Just state it as an intention, a willingness to withdraw your judgment.
Okay. Step 3.
Acknowledge how you feel without judgment.
Oh,
If you feel panic rising because you're letting go of control, just notice it.
there's the panic.
If the worry wart is screaming, notice that too.
You're not failing if you feel fear. You're succeeding by noticing the fear without buying into it immediately.
Exactly. Step 4, ask for help. Silently ask the Holy Spirit or your inner wisdom, whatever term works for you. Ask for help to see the situation clearly. Help me see this without my fear goggles on.
Ask for that different perspective. And the last step.
Just rest for a moment. Consciously take a break from the mental churn. Allow a little space for that quiet awareness we talked about, that non-editing mind. Even just for a breath or two.
Take a mini vacation from the mental hamster wheel.
That moment of quiet, that release from the burden of having to fix everything.
Yeah.
That's the relief the lesson offers.
It's quite a journey, isn't it? From initially maybe suspecting this lesson is about passive resignation.
To seeing it as an invitation to profound freedom and more effective, clear-minded action.
Understanding that distinction between the ultimate reality we're asked to accept and the ego's world we're asked to respond to with clarity, not reaction, that feels key.
It really does. It prevents us from using the lesson to bypass suffering, either our own or others.
So as we wrap up, maybe think about what came up for you when you first heard that phrase today. Let all things be exactly as they are.
Was it relief? Like, oh, thank goodness I can stop?
Or was it more like a jolt of panic? Wait, if I don't manage things, who will?
That initial reaction often points directly to where our ego is most invested in critique and control. Noticing that is the beginning of freedom.
Choosing to respond from peace rather than react from fear. That's where our true strength lies.
Well said. Let's continue this exploration tomorrow with Lesson 269.
Until then, may you find moments of peace today, maybe even give that inner critic a little time off.
Peace to you.